Episode 13. The year 2000.
The year 2000, new millennium, and the last year I spent as a child. This is when I turned 12. That's fun times. Obviously, the year 2000 was important for a lot of people, especially in my country, because we won the 2000 Olympics. Suck at America. But one of the things that was important to me is that I loved Star Trek, but up until the year 2000, there weren't really any Star Trek games that I was fond of. And then this game came out. I played the demo right at the beginning of the year and was so excited to get it. And I can distinctly remember I had the money to get it, but I was given that money to spend on my Scout Jamboree. Yeah, I didn't spend it at the Jamboree. I kept it so that I could come home, race to the Games Wizards, and buy this game. Now, although in the year 2000 I was very much into the first-person shooters, I was starting to pivot around towards RTSs, and being able to control the Enterprise and a whole bunch of other Starfleet vessels was blowing my mind when I played the demo. Then, once you actually got the full version, the storyline, which branched from all of the races, which was the Federation, the Borg, the Romulans, and the Klingons, it was amazing. And not only for a game was it cool, but just for a Star Trek fan, there was the Borg, obviously big, great threat. They managed to clone Picard and make a new Locutus. Obviously, there's subplots between the Klingons and a traitor faction in the Klingons. The Romulans, obviously scheming. This is when Sailor was an admiral, not the Empress. And she colluded with the Borg and then stabbed them in the back. And it also involved temporal travel. And this was also the game that introduced what became my favorite Federation vessel, which is the USS Premonition. Now, although Homeworld had released the year before, I hadn't played it, so for me, this was the first RTS that was in space, controlling starships rather than infantry forces and vehicles, like in StarCraft or Age of Empires. And it began the introduction to me of a more three-dimensional thinking when it comes to strategy, rather than just up and down, left and right. Ships did travel below and above each other, though the mechanics of that aren't actually fully explored in the first one. They're explored more in the sequel. Alright, let's get to the scoring. So for fun factor, I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10. I played this religiously, and I played skirmishes as well all the time. Loved it. I wish I could have been able to play it multiplayer, but at the time, the internet was not a common commodity. Graphics. Now, for the time, as far as I was concerned, 10 out of 10. I had not seen Homeworld at this point. Had I seen Homeworld, I may have dipped a little bit lower, because I think Homeworld's graphics were a bit better than this. Not much. But obviously, loved the Star Trek models. All of the ship models were great. Loved it. Replayability. Now, this is where the score takes a bit of a dive. I'm going to give it a 6. There's only so many times you can finish the campaign, and there's only so many times you can play skirmishes before it gets a little stale. Now, if I had have had the internet, if the internet was a common thing back in those days, it may have been a bit different if I had have had access to other people and playing multiplayer. But alas, no internet for me. And now for the honorable mentions of the year 2000. Starting off with America McGee's Alice. This game I ended up actually naming my daughter after. Followed by Dark Reign 2, Diablo 2, which barely missed out on taking the spot, Star Wars Force Commander, and another Star Trek game, Voyager Elite Force. Had this came out earlier in the year, this may have actually taken the spot as well. Year 2000 was definitely a year of beginnings for me. The beginning of my teenage cycle, the beginning of the new millennia, and it kind of symbolized the beginning of my movement from primary school into high school. And It also kind of symbolized the end of a few things, but that's not discovered until next year, I suppose. So, thank you so much for watching, and join me next episode where we go to a year where there was a revolutionary release, and of course, the world kind of got turned upside down for a lot of us. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for coming with me on this journey, and I hope to see you in the next video. Until then, bye bye!